Hello everyone, welcome to another interesting week on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. Always I have my co-hosts here. Hi ladies. Hi Nima, how was your weekend?
The weekend was beautiful, starting from Friday. It was the Mulan conference on Friday, and I went and I tested the popularity of Your View all the way to Bono. Wow. The NBA president was like, Your View? Is Jumuke? And Tope? I said they are fine. And they took my pictures. And you know, they sent their regards. We went there from there to Saturday. We were beaten by the rain. We couldn't make a talk I had.
A festival over the weekend.
Yes, so.
Yes, and they say that the rain must fall anytime your comes
but they say that this one was different from the normal rain.
Maybe they set it from Ile-Ife.
Fire. Rain. What did we do?
The Ghanaians are asking. Who was the person talking about our Oba that is he walks anyhow, goes somewhere anyhow? My mama try one.
Whatever. How you doing, Tokwe? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. My weekend was really good. I think that I'm learning to understand that I should focus on things that make me happy. I was saying that children lose. I look at my children. I'm like, they're so carefree. Like, I wonder, where did we change and become so burdened by life and expectations and all that? Like, we need to find that inner child and bring it out once in a while.
Wow, all right. So we need to pay the bills. Political Monday. Today, I'm going to be talking about Femi Fani-Kayode during our talk.
Okay.
I realized that he blocked me on Twitter.
Oh, really?
I must have said things that upset him. You know, during the elections, I was really against.
I thought you are his friend now.
No, I was against his principle during the election, saying that
corruption. There must be more to it than that.
Well, but did you see that video that you sent? So
I will be talking about that his video. So today I will be on his side.
Okay, all right. Hopefully he reacts you.
Don't worry. He blocked Oluwaloniyo. National Youth Movement is following him. I wanted to talk about the weekend. My cousin, we had an introduction for her yesterday. And me, I've eaten too much this weekend. I must be fasting.
No bicycle.
Okay, no problem. Me, I've been attending prayer meeting.
I was with
serious prayer meeting.
You're killing all your enemies.
Not even that, Joel, okay, is that all the prayer points there is to go to London, to go to America, or Canada. I mean, I'm like, Father, Lord, my
why?
I mean, that's the prayer point. Why? I think I need to relocate to maybe Ireland because the kind of prayer points they pray on the island is different from the kind of prayer points
my
they pray.
cousin said he wasn't going to church in the US because the only prayer they pray in the churches he was attending, Nigerian churches, was that get your green card, get your green card. And he felt that he didn't have a green card, but that wasn't his issue.
I couldn't see the problem is I can't relate to a lot of prayer points. I mean, the prayers are amazing. We're praising God, we're worshiping God, we're having a great time in the presence of God. But the prayer, I can't relate to the prayer points.
You know why?
They want visa.
You came back.
They want to go. It's the largest amen we can like, oh God, please, can we get to the next prayer point, please? Like, it's just, if you know how many people that are praying to go to America, Canada, seriously, it's like Jesus Christ.
The reality is far from that too.
Even the minister himself is like,
you want to earn in dollars and change to naira and make better money. It's not your fault.
You
shout we're advising you people to vote right.
I don't get it.
What was the option? You close with that?
I mean, it's just that, and that's Maslow's pyramid. Is so everybody's looking for the normal food, clothing, shelter. It's the prayer points. I mean,
but I think the movement is not about what you have in your pocket. It should be about what you have upstairs. So if you are psychologically above that level, you won't be asking for, I want to eat today. I want to eat today. You know that if I can feed 10,000 people, then I've eaten. So my question is, Father, help me to feed 10,000 people on a daily basis.
Not me, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car, what is that?
I want to dash out houses. Of course, I have house by then.
But let us not be oblivious to the issues out there.
Yes, I know.
All right, let's take a break. It's a fantastic week coming up. When we come back, we're going to start with the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Come on, get me. Welcome back. I hope they don't get me at the church today. All right, starting with the Punch. PDP factions trade insults as Supreme Court hears appeal today. Picture here of the Blues, Abi. Which league is that one? Arsenal.
No, Chelsea now.
Oh, I can't see it now. It's Chelsea. Okay, it's Chelsea.
Why you don't go football at
Chelsea,
all?
they won something. English Premier League. Right.
Come on.
NCCA stops Ethiopian Airlines deportation tax, says it's illegal. $59 billion rail projects. Abare Bay tackles Amechi over alleged Southeast exclusion. Politicians hiring marabouts, pastors to pray for Buhari's health.
Oh my God.
UTME jam to catch exam cheats with CCTV. Lecturer impregnated me. Rejects pregnancy, says student. I hope somebody read that story.
We read it.
Writes petitions against corrupt judges, CJN tells Nigerians. FG states local government shared 1.4 trillion in Q1, says report. 100 billion naira needed to reconstruct Apapa Road. That's
a lot of money.
He has 500 billion now, so hopefully he can do that.
You can't fix it on one road.
On one road.
500, well, okay, for PDP, Sean's probe into killing of 50 Rivers residents and ex-governor Ngalari's release. Sage demands prosecution of prison officials. So the human angle, who's impregnating who?
So this student,
so dramatic.
she's a student of nursing, dental nursing,
Right.
and she said that as a 300, Musumola as a 300 level, that she got 38 from one of our lecturers, and she asked that she went to be the guy that I need this to pass to go through my board exams, and that was where the relationship started from. And they've been having a relationship. The man did not deny having intercourse with her.
Right.
But he said, I cannot be the one that impregnated her because I used protection.
That's all.
2. Yes, he did not deny the intercourse.
Protection breaks now.
I don't know. So right now, the girl is saying that it happened a couple of times. That on one occasion, it happened 3 times, and they were protected twice, and one they didn't protection. So that was the time it must have happened. So there's an extensive one, and I wonder why they're arguing.
There's
when they
DNA
can prove
now. Yes,
through
now.
DNA.
No, but
But the girl is 9 months already.
In
so.
the story, the man had already accepted responsibility. He paid 7,000 for antenatal. He gives her 5,000 monthly for maintenance, and now she's asking for maternity load. She's giving him a bill of 50,000.
That was where the problem.
Take 30. And that's where all the problem now.
He's trying now.
So now they now opened all the can of worms, and we found out that this young lady just simply would not write an exam and pass, legitimately, because she said I read the story. In 100 level, she said a lecturer had approached her. That particular lecturer, she kept failing his course up to 300 level, where Mr. Oluseyi Adu, ensured that she passed his course as well as his own, and they had a relationship and that.
Let's move on.
So please.
Moving on to the
establish your story of the 100 billion.
100 million, no.
Which one?
100 billion for our road in Apapa.
Yeah, Governor Fashola.
So the Minister for Works, former Governor Fashola, came out to say that the blueprint for the road is ready. Just to convince the people, ensure that the people there know, the people on strike, that's the MPA people, that they need 100 billion to execute the repairs of this road. And that's true, I believe, because I saw the road. And I remembered sometime like 5 years ago, they were casting, the way they want to do the road, they have to cast each block of road they put there because of the trucks that pass through that road over
Let me quickly put it in perspective.
And I want to believe that with priority.
Last year, 2016 budget, Minister Fashola got 400 billion for housing, works, and power. 3 ministries. He needs quarter of that for just one road. I'm just putting it in perspective.
Okay, moving on to the nation. McCarthy kicks as sheriff urges courts to show an appeal. CJN, politicians threaten judiciary. And those are the 2 major stories, actually. McCarthy and Sheriff, who has that story? Sheriff is telling the court that they shouldn't listen to McCarthy.
We know that the court in
the Supreme Court,
the court in Port Harcourt had already said that the only leader that is that they accept is Sheriff. But the McCarthy team has appealed the case, and the Sheriff is now saying that, Ejo, I don't understand. You don't have a right to appeal. You are not PDP. I'm the official PDP.
Strike out his case because
he's appealing as a PDP person, as a PDP party. You can't, because you are not the official PDP. I'm the official PDP. So he says strike out his case. Let him appeal under another.
Let the court decide today.
Moving on to Vanguard.
They should get their acts together. February. It's less than 2 years away.
No, we will go and register our own party.
The court will decide today.
I'm with you. 100%.
The decision is today. They're hearing
Vanguard,
it today.
10 banks rake in 138 billion naira from alerts
and
e-services in 1 year. Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Really?
So it's like
we
know where the money is going to.
Jesus. Anyway, senators tackle Amechi over omission of Southeast, South from real projects. Boko Haram beheads 4 IDPs in Borno. Oh, goodness. And Osborne cash grass cutting contract. Okay, and Lawal remain suspended. Let's say these 2 stories.
So
Boko Haram and the 10 banks.
The banks. The story says that the percentage of the money, they make 138 billion naira, which is up by 26% from last year's income. And this money is made predominantly from alerts and e-transactions. So for every time you get your alert on your phone, they charge you.
Right. Yes.
And they said now it's compulsory that you get charged for that, except you write an indemnity form.
Right.
So everybody gets that alert and they get that money. One. Number 2, every transaction you make to another bank, they take 100 naira, 105 from each
naira
of those
commission.
On all those transactions.
Yes.
Another one is for every time you use the ATM, because that's another major source. For another bank, you get they take 65 naira.
Right.
Now, I had this discussion with someone who said that she had written, because she wasn't in the country, that the bank she's using shouldn't charge her for text messages. I'm not in the country. I don't get it. They stopped. They started again as at January this year. She went back there, wrote again. Suddenly started receiving alerts for text messages, and she's wondering, is that they made it compulsory?
And the banks are saying it's because they have a lot of bad loans. So obviously they're trying to get...
Organized labor is saying they shouldn't do this. Organized labor has told them that you can't be doing this. This is robbery.
So how will they earn their money?
No, but that's their business.
Other ways.
It is our money. If my money is in the bank, I'm working hard and saving it. In 2015, they earned 109 billion from all these commissions. In 2016, just 1 year, 138 billion.
And they hope to increase that by 26% by next year.
Because they're charging us so much. Okay, so you say go cashless. Every time I make a transaction, you charge me. It's just
those
unfair.
Things come as a cost to the bank.
Please let me quickly.
All ATM machines,
exorbitant cost. They can charge, but they can charge reasonably because 105 per 1,000 naira transaction transfer.
Beheaded.
The Balori IDP camp in Borno State, 12 men went on a hunting trip and Boko Haram attacked them, beheaded 4 of them. 2 of them are still missing. And my only question is, I thought that we decapacitated Boko Haram to a level. Does it mean that they are just now in the bush beheading people?
I don't understand, because we know they used to blow people, but now this beheading is...
I think it means that they are not as powerful, because for you to blow up means you have gadgets and all that. Beheading is easier. You just have an equipment. I think that since we've seen this new style, because they've not done this before, let's now start working on protecting
we were about them
moving on.
Regrouping. So
moving on to Daily Sun. Red alert as soldiers, Boko Haram exchange fire. 13 terrorists killed. Senators reject federal government's plan for Southeast Rail. Pick holes in concession arrangement. Judiciary under threat, says CJN. Akwa Ibom gets jumbo share of 1.4 trillion quarter 1 allocation. APC has performed below expectations, says Utomi. And Anambra attracts $494 million investment in 3 years.
I wanted to quickly take the Akwa Ibom story that when they were sharing, I think 1.4 trillion, Akwa Ibom got about, for first quarter, Akwa Ibom got about 38 billion, while Osun State got 1.7 billion. Right. And Nima was worried that what's happening to your state, Jumoke? Why aren't they getting their allocation? I think it's our dead profile. You know, they take it from source.
Right.
But I think that when are we going to stop this sharing? When will each state think and find money within its own self?
Working towards that IGL thing. And the CJ was saying that judiciary under threat, saying that lots of people, especially politicians and federal government, are not allowing them to do their jobs. And he was citing an example from Anambra, a senator in Anambra. Sorry?
Senator Ekuife.
Yes, and they are saying that was accusing judiciary that they were, I think that it was illegal.
Accusing them of corruption and saying that if you have any allegation against any judicial member, address your petition to this NJC.
Anyway, I hope that the acting president can do what he did when he was Commissioner of Justice in Lagos State by clean up
and make them more independent. Don't all these interferences not going to work.
Just clean up the judiciary.
Final paper is this day. Paris London Club refund. Aggrieved APC chieftains targeting Buhari, says Yari. I don't know what it means. CBN signals retention of tight monetary policy. Targets rate convergence. Presidency, Lawal Oke suspension remains indefinite. And people are asking, saying they want to know the report.
Exactly.
But Lawal Akode just said
The suspension is still ongoing. The report was supposed to come on Monday. That same Monday, the president stepped out. So the report cannot be submitted. He can't be the judge in his own case.
Let him just tell us what he found.
An email now.
He said we should wait. No, you don't get it. It's the report. He's supposed to send the report to the president, but he is the one that's put the report together. He can't send the report to himself and now make decisions on it now.
Okay,
he said you should wait.
That's all. Calm down. Let's take a break. When we come back, we heard about a radio station that was demolished in Nassarawa State. Is that true? And later, we talk about the controversy surrounding the acting president, Yemi Osinbajo. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. So we heard online, I think it was on Elizabeth Ode that posted it on Facebook, the first private radio station in Nassarawa State, that Breeze FM 99.9, was recently demolished by the state government, and residents took to social media to condemn the action. According to reports, the civil servants of the state who were on strike for non-payment of 5 months' salary went to the radio station to plead to the governor through the media. And to their surprise, the urban development, who were also on strike, gave notice of the demolition the following day. Following the demolition, the state chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, that's NUJ, Dogo Shama, said in a statement, "This is an assault on the media and threat to freedom of press in the state." Now, what are your thoughts on this? It's Your View. Call us on 070-80668014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag Your View TVC so we can read your tweets. This press freedom is coming up so many times in this our democracy, and that's pretty surprising.
Yep.
This was the conversation we used to have back then during the military.
Yes.
Yep.
So suddenly, it's raising its head again.
One, I need to applaud Elizabeth Ode. This is a woman that Lagos is here. We encourage all those kind of things. But she decided to be the voice, the only voice that is unbiased, because it's the only private radio station in Nassarawa State. So she's one person that is not controlled by the government. And only that station gave platform for the striking workers who haven't been paid for 5 months to express themselves. Yoruba says, Ajekila no mokuleni. So after she gave them that platform, suddenly you saw that a building was contravening, and then you bring it down. So for me, the people saying that it was fighting freedom of speech and the freedom of press is valid, because I think that you cannot, even if you feel the building is contravening, you don't bring down the building just after she has already given a platform for your staff, your unpaid workers to express themselves.
This is an allegation, though. Yeah.
The governor of Nassarawa State himself commissioned this radio station in March. And his special assistant has come out to say that even though this news broke on all papers, not just on social media, his special assistant Ahmad Tukru said that the radio station was demolished for violating building regulations, and that the station was among, not just only among 500 structures that were demolished on that day, including the brother to the governor's residence that was also demolished, for contravening building plans in the state.
Question.
How convenient.
Did you not see that when you went to open it?
Did this radio station contravene the building plan or not?
Exactly. It did. And it was marked.
According to the reports.
According to the reports, even from the owners of the station, it was marked the day before.
The day before.
And the demolition was carried out.
The day after.
The day after.
Yes. So the question should now be whether it contravened due process for demolition. Because, under the Land Use Act, all lands, are in trust with the governor of any state.
Yes.
And, he has the right to recover any land for public purposes. And if he says that this radio station is contravening public, building plan, you can recover the ownership.
Wasn't it just coincidental that it just happened the very next day after all the workers are complaining? There was a strike going on. They said that the schools are on strike, the ministries are on strike, based on the reports we read.
So maybe the governor wasn't thinking that you would hear of this in Lagos, because if this happened in Lagos, there would have been hula baloo And I remember Ada Osakwe's newly juiced and how people went up in arms saying that though the government was right, you should have a human face, you know, to carry out your duties. Now, the governor should have been a little wary because he commissioned the building. So now, workers that have not been paid for months go to this radio station and they're allowed to protest. And then you come to bring down the building. Of course, people are going to think that you're trying to clamp down on the media.
Connect the dots.
You don't want us to hear about it. And anybody who is allowing us to hear, you're going to show them your displeasure. But there's also the other side of, if they were contravening the building plan.
Okay.
And they brought down his own brother's house, then nobody's above the law.
Exactly.
But again, one day notice, is that what the law allows?
Let me quote him from this Daily Trust report. Tukur added that the station was not targeted for anything other than the issues that have to do with building plan. He maintained that the structure was approved as a residential area and the station must has hazardous effect on the people living around. If tomorrow the station acquires appropriate site, the government will approve it immediately.
Sorry. You see, I'll go back to the question Jumoke asked. He was the one
who
commissioned that building, so he was aware.
And so maybe he didn't know of the contravening.
And he conveniently found out the day after the protest took place. He is within his jurisdiction to say that this is not right, we can bring it down. But we would question abuse of power when we realize that this person is being seen to be prosecuted after speaking against the government.
Is it possible that people went to that station because they knew that the other public stations could not accommodate their complaints?
They have 3 independent radio stations in the state that reported the labor strike issue, according to Amatuko. 3 independent radio stations in that state reported the labor strike issues. So why is there persecution of one radio station?
So what you're saying is that the fact that this building was demolished
means
that they were not being attacked.
No.
Okay. We're trying to get the owner of the radio station, Mr. Lawal Aboki, on the phone. I'm not sure. I think our producer is trying to reach him so that we hear his own side of the station.
But I feel that we've been discussing this. We are in recession as a nation. Every business that brings employment one way or the other should be treated as king. Because you know that you as a government cannot pay your staff. You now see a business paying staff. You now say the building is conveniently in one way or the other. Countries that have ideas on how to encourage businesses and private businesses would say that, okay, we have provided another site for you. Move your mat there.
Preach.
Keep your staff paid.
She has a
Keep
point.
your business going. We bring that building because of the safety.
Because they're considering
hazards.
the people first.
Because they consider people first. So you are struggling. You've not paid five months of your staff. This business is paying, is providing employment, and you bring it down, and you now justify it
like
under one guise or the other. We need to hold our leaders responsible. There is no excuse.
I think we can end on that note.
I saw an article online where the governor was saying that, you know, because of the master plan he had for that state, he was acquiring lands that, you know, reacquiring lands that had been acquired and paying compensation to people. So this argument that Tokwe says that, you know, it should be foreseen the future and all that, I think that should be in plan, because they reacquired certain lands in the estate and they spent over 500 and something billion.
How come Let me take this call from Sophia, is our correspondent actually in Nassarawa. She can give us an update. Sophia, are you there? Thanks for staying with us.
Hi, Jumoke. Good morning.
Hi. How are you doing? All right. Could you give us an update on the building that was demolished?
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to commend your co-host. I mean, for mentioning that we're in a recession and the radio station was being pulled down. It's crazy, actually. But here's the thing. It's amazing that the governor is bringing down a building he went to commission. And for starters, if they are giving the excuse that he did not get building permit to, operate business in that premises, that man has been running a non-governmental organization, an NGO, in that same building for over a decade.
10 years.
It's not on the road, for starters. And even if you have issues with a radio station, you could have sealed it off. And take, these things take legal procedures. You can go to that part until such a time. If everything fails, then you can decide to pull down the building. I mean, there's a building in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, belonging to JAM. At some point, some things happened, and it's been sealed up for the past 3 years. I think that is the path the governor or the government should have told. And this whole thing came about because the the factional NLC decided to go to Breeze FM 99.9 to air the interview concerning, what is going on between them and the government. The government is not calling them for meetings. Rather, they are calling the other group who they said they have sacked.
All right. Thank you very much, Sophie. I think we can, but thank you for that information. Yes. Let's see some tweets on this matter.
We don't agree for them. We will continue speaking.
Yeah, but that's what you see. That means that we can't even work there. We can't work in Nassarawa State. They would have demolished all of us.
I would have been handcuffed.
So we thank God for Lagos State, actually. But I think we're trying really hard to get the MD of the radio, Mr. Lawal Abuki, to see if to tell us exactly if indeed he was on the wrong or right side of the law. Do you have any tweets for us on this matter? No tweets? Okay. Let's end this.
My network does not work. I will not call their name.
You tweet it, yeah.
It's a few letters.
Yes.
No, it's a few letters. That's all we can say.
It doesn't work.
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we'll see. I mean, if we get Mr. Lawal, we'll still take him on, at least to hear his own side of the story. But when we come back now, we're going to talk about the controversies surrounding the acting president, Mr. Yemi Osinbajo. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So I think we finally have Mr. Lawal on the phone before we go to our Let's Talk. Mr. Lawal, thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Yes, so concerning the demolition of your radio station, the government is saying that you don't have the correct permit, the right permit, and that's why it was demolished. Can you tell us your own side of the story, sir?
Okay, I want to say for purpose of record.
Right.
As I'm seated, yes, as I'm currently seated, the state government has not sent us any notice of demolition of the building.
Right.
On Friday, last Friday evening at about 4:30, their team of police and soldiers and people from the NUDB came and marked demolition on the wall of the building. And first thing on Saturday morning at 8 a.m., the team of bulldozers, supervised by the governor himself and Ahmed Tukur, who is going about in Abuja, spreading all kinds of lies. Right. They all supervised the demolition of that exercise.
Right.
The first time the vehicle came, they demolished, and the governor told them to come back and re-demolish, and so that to put the type building on ground.
Right. All right.
So were you able to rescue
people that
any...
the issue of documents is a blatant liar. Let them come and show us.
All right.
Well,
unfortunately, we need to end this, but thank you very much for calling in. We're going to continue this conversation. We may have to call you again sometime this week to continue this conversation because we need to also hear from the government side officially. So this is ongoing. This is really, this comes really close to our heart because we are in the media, and it's important that we ensure that that there's freedom of press. Yes. And freedom of journalists can easily do their work here. So it's a really, really, really soft spot for us, but we'll definitely reach back to you, sir. Okay, coming back now to our topic for Let's Talk. Anxiety has continued to mount over the absence of our president. His medical trips and mystery surrounding his medical condition are sparking speculations on his health and the future of our country. According to the reports that we read, the Northern Elders Forum has insinuated that acting President Yemi Osinbajo cannot replace the president, that's Muhammadu Buhari, in 2019 in the event of any eventuality. Now, joining us is the public affairs analyst, Lester Wilcox, to discuss this. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
To have you on.
It's
been a while.
It's nice being here again.
Yes.
I think the last time I was there was when Adik Bashola won his
oh, really? Oh, wow. You can call us on 070-80668-014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Now, Jumoke, I want to come to you because a lot of things are happening nowadays. We're talking about the press freedom issue, our president, the presidency, vice president, there's a cabal going on. I mean, there's this, and the vice president said there's not like a cabal. I'm going to start with you to ask Lester the right question on this.
I wanted to go to our history, and just from 1979, when it was the last time we had a Yoruba president, or head of state before the civilian. And so from 1979, when we had Obasanjo, to 83, Shagari, and then the coup that brought in head of state Buhari, to Babangida, to Babangida had so we were supposed to have a civilian rule that he didn't allow the elections. They were supposed to have MKO Abiola's president. He cancelled this and pushed Shoneko to conduct another election. Abacha took over from him. But the point I'm driving, that we had northern leaders, you know, as military heads of state. And then Abacha passed away. Abubakar, another northerner, came, conducted elections, and at the time it seemed like they wanted to compensate the Yorubas, because in 1999 the elections were between a Yoruba man and another Yoruba man. Now, after Obasanjo's 8 years, it seemed like the political parties knew that without the North, though, you can't win presidency. It's because the North supported PDP and said, give it to the Yorubas as compensation that we had Obasanjo. And you will remember that it seemed like President Jonathan was doing the will of the northern elites. This week, Femi Fani-Kayode was saying in his video while he was talking to Nnamdi Kanu that that's why he joined APC, that President Jonathan was just favoring the northern elites. But he now then said, when he heard now President Buhari, El Rufai took him to President Buhari, and President Buhari was saying to him that we don't trust the Igbos. We have an issue trusting the Igbos, that they killed our leaders in the middle of the night. And he was saying, no, you have to stop these people. They killed Yoruba leaders also. It's not about the North. It should be the Nigerian story, and that's why he moved back to PDP. Now, you will notice that the APC, when they came together, went to pick President Buhari because the North, the South, West or East or South, have realized that we cannot have a president without the North in support. And that's why they chose President Buhari. Some quarters believe that the North believe that they must decide who becomes president. My question is, the formation Nigeria, are we really united, or we are being led by Northern cabal who determine who becomes president in Nigeria?
That's a question for sorry, I know the story was really long, but I think that was the crux of what you're trying to ask.
My good friend has taken me very, very on a jolly coaster ride through the history of Nigeria. But sincerely, I'm a Nigerian, and it grieves my heart, sincerely, some of the things that comes to fore as to the entity called Nigeria. But it hasn't shaken my belief in Nigeria, and I still believe that I'm a Nigerian, and Nigeria will remain in perpetuity until the coming of Christ again. Maybe then the whole world will become one. But when that has not happened, Nigeria will remain in perpetuity. The speculation that is going on today, yes, I quite understand the sentiments of elements who are beneficiaries in the North as to the power game. For me, I call it sentiment because this power has not been used in the betterment of anybody than in personal aggrandizement, both North, South. So even we in the South that are clamoring today a certain president, we had it for 6 years, and today this man, what is called, the governor of Jonathan State came up to say it was a wasted years, and when we are shouting it here. So for me, it's not North, South, East, West, or anywhere. It is about who will deliver the best good for Nigeria. That's my focal point. Now, the people who are clamoring for it is our right, it's our duty, it's our side, they are just being sentimentally lazy. And sentimentally, I don't want to use nasty word, but let me just try and control my emotion. Sentimentally, I will call it lazy. Let me just use the word lazy for want of word, or troublesome, because it doesn't benefit you in any way, apart from the few cliques that are today benefited. Because when you look at it, last time when they went to Mina for
the wedding,
people call it Nigerian PLC. They went to Mina. You find about 30 private jets went there, and apart from that of Dangote, who was the captain of industry, which of them can you point has a property, has a business that has employed 100 people as to create wealth that could afford? The only thing that the underlying factor was, and don't forget, they're not only Northerners, the Southerners are there, the Easterners are there.
Yes.
I'm sure Jomoke's brother connected somehow, will be there. So, but now she's not benefiting, and they are benefiting.
And it's somebody related to
connected and related somewhere. So these are the issues.
Right.
These are the issues.
Right.
It's not about North, South, East. I will address the issue of the Vice President.
I want to, Jumoke asked a question that is do the northern leaders feel that they are the only ones that can choose our president? And I'll go back to what Ango Abdullahi said, that should Buhari fail to seek re-election in 2019, the North must retain presidency by fielding a candidate through the ruling APC.
Who is Ango Abdullahi?
So he is speaking for the Northern Elders
Ango Abdullahi is, as far as I'm concerned, expired.
So he is speaking.
Just,
I'm going somewhere. He's speaking for the Northern Elders Forum, saying that they have a right to 8 years. That is the North. That spirit of, that mind of entitlement, that even whether I deliver or not, it is my turn.
But I thought our constitution is 4 years. We are the one that will choose.
That is the problem.
If you can come back.
And that is why we are giving this opinion.
I am happy. I'm happy you brought that. I'm happy you brought that.
Informed.
I think I blame PDP. And that is what, thank God PDP is facing their crisis today.
Yeah.
Not because I'm a sympathetic to APC, I'm not a APC member, but I'm sympathetic to APC. And I blame PDP because PDP is the people that has brought us to this fixed term, 8 years fixed term program. When the constitution that everyone assigned to said you have a 4-year and renewable mandate.
Yes.
So if Obasanjo did 8 years, it's not compulsory that Jonathan should have done 8 years.
Yes.
That was compulsory that late Jonathan should have done 8 years. It is the free will of the people, and it is time that, and I'm happy that the Northern youth are even more vibrant than the Southern youth. You know what they did to Ahmed Lawal last weekend?
Yes, now.
The Northern youth are rising up because they know that the likes of Ango Abdullahi, who are expired, Ango Abdullahi is expired, that's why I'm concerned. He's expired just like other ones are all expired, and they are only trying to create relevance. Now, how many of them are in sync with Buhari before he became president? They are all, none of them were in sync with Buhari. If they were in sync with Buhari, Buhari would have won election either in 2011,
or
2007,
or
2003.
Exactly,
They were not
12 years.
They are all opportunists seeking where their bread is well buttered and come up to one expired group called Northern Elders Forum to begin to influence, create problems where they cannot create. And the Southern press is not helping. And I must say this advisedly. The Southern press is one of the biggest enemy of Nigeria because when the Southern press are reporting issues, they do not report issues from a perspective, they report issues from a fighting position. Now they not have said this, therefore this is our position. And then you now hit the entire system. If the Southern press reporting I don't know how to use impress freedom, but because beginning to report the foolishness,
objectivity,
the foolishness of what somebody like Ango Abdullahi will be saying on air when he is not in sync with Buhari in the first instance. If you are in sync with Buhari, Buhari will have won an election longest time ago because there is no way we can say, like you said, there is no way that the North and the South.
10 million, 12 million votes for Buhari.
Yes.
That's a lot.
But that was not the likes of Ango Abdullahi that gave him such vote. That was not the likes of those people that gave him such vote.
Shouldn't you be worried, sir? The what's the name again? The military. This week, last week, brought out a publication warning soldiers of being used by politicians. Shouldn't we be worried, having been through military regimes over the years, that there's a possibility that if this does not come to bear, we don't take seriously Ango Abdullahi and the likes on their comments, we might have a coup.
Well, I wouldn't think that any right-thinking military officer in today's Nigeria will want to go that route.
One of the crazy thinking ones.
The crazy thinking ones can, and that is why there are rules that will check people like that. And I'm happy that the Chief of Army Staff is a Northerner. And having known the kinds of Ango Abdullahi and his cohorts onto what they can do, because these are people that are, and like I said, they are expired, they are getting quite relevant. The Northern talks, there are younger ones that are the think tank now of the Northern, of the North. More intelligent, more brainy, and more assertive in their position, and they can be able to mobilize faster the younger ones because they are no longer being led by the nose. So these are persons that can now fall back to their traditional power base, which is the military, to use to destabilize the country. But I tell you, it is getting too late for them. And now that the army is aware, the army will not hesitate. The action of the army will not hesitate to deal with those issues. And I for one, would think that a person like Buhari is not the kind of person that will want to stabilize Nigeria, because he's a man that loves Nigeria so much and has sacrificed a lot for that. So he will not want to support the lives of Ango Abdullahi because they never brought it to power in the first instance.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take some phone calls and your tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
our question.
You're welcome.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Yes, welcome back. So before I come to talk with our vice president,
Yeah.
the issue of a cabal,
Yeah.
you know, not allowing him to work or influencing him or trying to, you know,
Tell
I
him
don't
what to
think,
do.
I won't, he hasn't come out to say if he's even interested in the presidency. Yeah. I mean, left to him, he's likely just, let me do my work and just leave this place.
Exactly.
But what are your views on this cabal that nobody understands?
I think sincerely, the work relationship between the president and the vice president has been very cordial. Even after they won the election, you saw both of them, and that's why I trusted a President Muhammadu Buhari as somebody that goes for the best. He's not this politician that wants to acquire and want to retain. So he has that SP confidence in his vice president. And that is when he was leaving power, when he was traveling, he transmitted power to the vice president. In the first, he said, "We act on my behalf," and he went ahead to do the job. Now, let me tell you where I suspect where this problem is coming from is the fact that when Vice President Oshiba, and I like him as a very, very intelligent man that will not allow the David and Saul situation to repeat itself in Nigeria. Nigerians are the one creating this problem. The moment President Buhari stepped out and Oshiba took over, I heard everybody say, "Oh, things are better now. Oh, he has done magic." Just this next day, the moment President Buhari
You didn't think he was doing magic?
I didn't see any magic.
Okay.
I didn't see any magic. And I'm coming. Even on this platform, I had it. Somebody said, "Oh, things are better, getting better now." Things do not get better like a magic wand.
Right.
The vice president is an active person, more active in terms of physical appearance than the president. So he comes out, you see him do things. But that does not mean that the price of Gary came down, the price of rice came down. No.
Let me take this call.
Forex was a continuation of policy that affected, in fact, under him, Forex got to 520. Before the CBN intervention, that now came down to 3 something. So let Nigerians not create that problem for the vice president.
All right, let me
so
take
that
this
the cabal will no longer think that he's trying to overshadow. And because the Southern press promoting this nonsense, I call it narrative nonsense.
Right.
The vice president is very intelligent and he will not dance to those kinds.
Let me take this call from Daniel. Daniel from Abuja, are you there?
Yeah, hello, ladies.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Hello, ladies. Good morning. I also appreciate my fellow gentleman for trying to make more input with regards to your discussion this morning.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, hello, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning.
I appreciate my fellow gentleman for his contribution there. I think it's high time we understand what is really playing out here. There are some elements that really want to stampede this government. This information we are hearing is not a proper one. Anybody that loves this country should pray for General Buhari. Buhari and Osibanjo is a very good gift from God to us. If you can sit down and see what these guys have done for our economy, the rubbish they have done in our economy, we will understand that these guys are the same people coming back to see how to create problem between the South and the North. We don't have any room to start arguing who will replace Buhari. Buhari has not been confirmed to be unfit by anybody on this planet Earth. Not to continue his leadership as far as 2019 is concerned. The criminals want to come back, we will not allow them. They have devastated our economy.
Right. All right.
And they have
Thank you very much,
put us in a
Daniel.
place where we don't know what to do. So many families cannot eat because of their problems.
Right. All right. Thank you very much, Daniel. Tokwe had a question.
I want to quickly go.
Numa.
Sorry, Tokwe. In view of 2019, this numerical advantage that the North are clamoring that they have and screaming that they have all the time, is it
controversial
sufficient?
census.
Is it sufficient for them to field the presidential candidate alone and win an election?
It's not sufficient for them to field alone and win an election.
They tried it before now.
Yes, we Buhari 3 times.
Let's tell you something.
And he lost.
Numerical strength, yes, they have it, and I can prove that. While South and South, there are more Christians that believe in one wife, 4 children, 2 children, 1 child. They not believe in multiplicity of wives, 4
many
if
children.
not more, and many children. So there is no way. So anybody who is going on illusion in the South that the North is not more populated is just being elusive.
This is a region that even their emirs have said they are not educated.
Elusive. Let's just get that clear.
Okay.
Because they have that numerical advantage. But that does not translate to electoral victories.
Yes.
If people are wise in number one, our census are overbloated. Well, that is obviously.
Yes.
North, south, east, west. Even my village is overbloated. We must be factual about that.
Yes.
In everybody's village is overbloated. But if that be the case, the issue is It is now what we, the elite, we the civil societies, we the elite, now make out of the political system. We are too docile and too one-sided in our political decisions. Right. I disagree with Jumoke on a lot of issues in politics, but I like her that she supported a candidate that is not popular, and that is her right. In doing that. Although we have comments about that. Okay. I supported somebody like Ganefa Wemi in 2003. You know, that is a political decision. Now, and if we begin to educate the people on political decisions, not to follow bandwagonism in carrying out political decisions, then I'm sure whatever numerical advantage you have may not be of any significant consequences. Fantastic. It's just how much you are able to influence the situation and get a better candidate. Let me take this call.
Suleiman, are you still
to run the country?
Yeah, I'm there. Good
Thanks
morning.
For calling. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, Suleiman.
Yeah, good morning to all of you.
Good morning, Suleiman.
Thank you so much. I'm filled up with shock. When are we coming out from coma? Nigeria is still under coma. Negative people are trying, tempting the peace of Nigeria. This is our blessed country. Instead of us to focus on the series of challenges we are encountering daily, economic oppression, physical oppression, demonic oppression, occultic practices, intolerance and violence, religious oppression. We are busy thinking about our leaders, not even thinking good for them. We don't even appreciate them a little.
Right.
You and I, in our houses, in our community, how many people appreciated us?
Thank you very much, Suleiman.
Appreciate people.
Appreciate all.
Let me just say something quickly. When this topic came up, I felt that let's not give it. There's no reason to listen to this kind of statement. But I think we're listening to it because we need to put it to ground. That these people that keep making it look like they decide our future are not deciding our future. We must realize that they've self-served themselves for so long. We decide what we want. The northern youth, the southern youth that have been disadvantaged for so long should decide that whether you like it or not, we will vote.
So let's tell Professor to his face
that
we are the one that have
and please, let me just say this. Let me just say this. So finally, President Muhammad Buhari and Vice President Oshibajo are a good tag team that God has given us to bring us out of
Let's
the
not pit them against each other.
Yes, and therefore, right now that the president is not in, Vice President has been in charge of the economy because as constitutionally he's in charge of the economy. And even when the president came back, he was so happy that this man did a good job while I was away. Therefore, he will continue to handle certain.
No, that's constitutionally.
Did you believe Fani Kayode's statement that President Buhari said to him that we do not trust the
I will never believe that because Fani Kayode is somebody that
he can be mischievous.
He's so mischievous, and he says something in the morning, and I think some needs to have some chill pill and regroup himself. But what I want Nigerians is please do not pitch the vice president against the president.
Please.
That is why this new cabal now is raising their head. In order now that the man traveled, I can see that letter. Buhari did not write that letter. Somebody wrote it for him to sign. And so I can see that mischief. So Nigerians should not pitch the vice president. And of course, he's a wise man. He will not. This president will go his term. Nigeria will better, and for the betterment of everybody.
All right. Let me let you doing a good job.
I'm going to do this job.
My last word, I was just going to say that the youth are coming together, and so it's not about religion or ethnicity. I'm not your South or anything. We have the numbers. We're the ones who do the campaign. We're the ones who do everything for them. Even the president, it was the youth movement. So the youth are coming together, and if any political party is not looking for the youth or empowering them, they're going to lose elections.
They should empower themselves. The youth should rise up against this ugly guy of the adults and empower themselves to take over the situation of the country.
Always remember just one word: Macron.
39-year-old.
39-year-old. Just remember.
He's not married though.
Whatever.
He's married.
52.
Let's not go there.
That's all we can take on the show. See you tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.